Coach Burnett, first things first, how's the deck look?
I'll tell you what, bro. I mean, I saw what you put. I think it was on Facebook the other day, and man, is it beautiful. Who worked on it? Who did?
Bill Dozer, dude.
Yeah, man.
Billy, my neighbor from Kent.
Yeah, this is smoking, man.
The bee's knees,
Smoking,
huh?
absolutely. I remember I had a deck many years ago when we had a pool, and the Stever boys came over and helped me stain it, and then I neglected it for probably 3 years, and man, what a mess! It was really hard to get it right again, but this is beautiful, man. Awesome job.
It's the first chair that's sat on it since it's been
Oh, really?
Yeah, since it's been sanded and painted. So.
Oh, right on, man.
Well, hey, let's talk camps. You guys got some camps scheduled coming up next month, July. How many weeks you guys going to try and run in Perrysburg to start, right?
Yeah, tentatively, 3 weeks right now in July. The first two going to be at the Hive, definitely. The third one, maybe, depending on what's going on in Milan, and obviously, with USA Wrestling, the third one maybe, that would be the 27th through the 30th of July. That could be back in Milan. We may run another 4-day camp in August, but everything is just so fluid right now, so we're just kind of following along and see what's going to happen.
When this whole situation, you and I have talked so much. We talk weekly about it, and it's obviously a crazy situation. It's this balance, a delicate balance between people's health, activities, ramping up stuff. Is there going to be a second spike early? Is there going to be a third spike? We don't know any. When you're being nimble and figuring things out. How important is that? And what have you and your brother and your other coaches that you're working with done to try and ensure that you're going to be able to have camps this year and kids are going to be safe?
Trying to follow what the experts say, the recommendations they make, you want to be as safe as possible. Obviously you have physical health and you have mental health, and they're equally as important. So when kids don't get to do what they're used to doing and what they love to do, I think they struggle a little bit. So I'm really hoping that things can kind of, I'm hoping that things can kind of head back to normal. You know what I mean? And I don't know when that's going to happen, but I think it's important that we can get back to as close to that as possible. I mean, kids want to do and need to do what they love to do, and there has to be that balance. There has to be safety concerns as well, and we just got to do the best we can do.
Can you talk a bit about that? You keep talking about the mental health aspect to me. Mm-hmm. That's a huge toll that's taken on kids. They didn't have their season, right? In Ohio, they didn't have their season. 90% of the states got to have their seasons and their state tournament. But the mental health of being, not being able to see your friends, being away from family members, and, if you can't see your grandparents, things like that. Talk about the mental health and what your concerns are with that and what you're trying to do with that.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. Part of what I do in my job is to deal with things like that, with people that are having mental health issues and whatnot. And our young people, I mean, they've never, ever gone through anything like this. I mean, you think about it, a kid screws up, and, when I was a kid, if I did something wrong and my parents... my parents were pretty old school, man. If you needed to get a crack, you get a crack. But there were times when my dad was like, you just go sit in that chair in the corner. And I was like, for how long? And he's like, never mind how long. You went in the kitchen, you made a mess. You mouthed off to your mother. Just go sit in that chair. And just sitting in that chair for an hour, okay, would drive me bananas. All right, so you're talking about now, okay, that was very young. Okay, so now you're talking about kids that did nothing wrong. Right, and they lost their state tournament. If you're wrestling, if you're basketball, winter sports, okay. If you're spring sports, they lost everything. Right, no season whatsoever. Okay, and these kids are basically being told go sit in that chair, and it wasn't their fault, and it's nobody's fault. Okay, I don't want that to come out wrong, but you get to a point in time where it's like I'm starting to hear some things. I'm starting to hear the kids talk, and it's scary. It's scary because they have to be moving around. They aren't meant to be this way. You know what I mean? We're meant to be, human beings are meant to be social. Kids, between the ages of 10 and 18, 19, they need to be social, man. They need to be around their friends. They need to be around other people, like-minded individuals who want to work hard. And, they didn't have that for a long time. And that's scary. And it's hopeful. I'm hoping that things can open up. And like I said, there has to be a balance. You got people that are getting very sick. You got people that are dying. So there has to be a balance, and people have to follow the rules. It's the bottom line.
Like you talk about your job. Your job is, you work with truancy. You work with all different types of things when it comes to attendance and school attendance.
Mm-hmm.
What have you done? What have you had to do differently about your job as far as it's home visits, right? A lot of home visits, yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be there are probably going to be some different trainings this summer. There's going to have to be there's probably going to have to be an online option. You have kids that are compromised, that they may not be able to come to school. That might not be a healthy environment for them. So once again, but you're going to have to monitor what they're doing. You're going to have to make sure that they're doing their online schooling, right? There's going to have to be a way for us as home counselors to go in there and be able to check whether it's on Power School or whatever, and say, okay, did this kid log in today for 5 hours or however many hours he was supposed to log in for? So yeah, that's going to change. Home visits, I don't know when that's going to start. And what sucks about that is that's actually the favorite part of my job. Like, I love being out in the community and just working with families. And I think sometimes families are more comfortable with me coming to their house than maybe coming to the school. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I miss that part of my job, and I miss the interaction that I had with the kids.
Being a dad, you're a head wrestling coach for Elyria, you're a top 20 team in the country. Being a dad of two of the guys on the team, they didn't get their season. What things are are there concerns with your kids? Because your kids are two totally different kids, right? But what is the big things as being a dad, and what have you done to navigate this whole COVID-19 quarantine? What have you done to navigate, and what have you noticed about your own kids, maybe?
Well, we try to talk a lot about routine and trying to maintain a routine, and I think we started off okay. I don't know. I think we could have done a better job of that. Janet and I are lucky. My wife Janet, we're lucky. We have two pretty good kids. I don't worry a whole lot about them getting in trouble and things like that. But just as far as there were some days where maybe there was a little too much sleeping in, or maybe we didn't do enough schoolwork, or and it just. But what are you going to do? There's a balance. You know what I mean? When this first started, these kids lost their state tournament. So, we did go easy on them for a couple of weeks. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, we get it. And everybody's trying to figure out what we were going to do, how we were going to finish the quarter, what we were doing leading into the fourth quarter. So there was a lot going on, you know what I mean? And, our kids, what I like about Mick and Nate is they did stay as active as they could. They were doing a lot of alternative training, whether it was finding a place to weight lift or doing conditioning and things like that. I thought that was cool for them. But once again, I don't think anybody handled this situation perfectly, and I know we didn't. But like I said, I think it could have been worse.
What do we do next year if there's no season? What does that look like for you, and what do? You have a son with 2 years of high school left. You have a son who's going to be a freshman at Pitt, and Nate Burnett will be a junior in high school at Elyria. What does next year look like without a season?
There has to be a season. There can't not be a wrestling season. Like I said, there's people out there a lot smarter than me. You know what I mean? That I hope can figure things out. There has to be a season. Otherwise, I don't know. I have no idea. You know what I mean? If you're not going to have wrestling next year, at what point? I mean, of course, if they find a vaccine, I get it. That's going to help things a lot. But what if it takes 2-3 years before they find a vaccine? Do sports die? You know what I mean? Are combat hand-to-hand sports, do they die? My thought process is they can't. I admit I'm ignorant. I don't know what to do at this point. I just can't see us not having a wrestling season.
You look at UFC; they have been the leader in bringing combat sports back. And it was the first pro sport that came back full force. Mm-hmm. I mean, they've run 5 or 6 promotions, mm-hmm. right? So they've been the leader in it, and that is the contact sport of contact sports, right?
Right.
A lot of wrestling in it. Wrestlers dominate the UFC, mm-hmm. right? So that's something that gives me confidence, and I don't take pause, and that gives me confidence, right?
Yes.
As far as camps go, talk to me about camps and what your dates are. I think the one I'm going to be is the 13th through the 16th. Okay. Little change in the dates. You're not going to do a Sunday. Now you're going to do a Monday through Thursday format.
Yeah, we can't do. We don't have the overnight option. The regulations are not allowing us to provide food, drinks, snacks, things like that. That's going to be on the kids. So what we decided to do was run 2 sessions a day, and have everybody just go home at night. There are a lot of people in our club that are friends. So they may, if people are coming from far away, they may get a hotel room, they may stay with somebody. That's all up to them. But at this point, we're just trying to do the best we can do as far as, helping these kids out and have some semblance of a wrestling summer for them. We want to try to have enough time between sessions to just clean the room and clean the facility and make sure everything's taken care of. Like we were talking about before, we got tons of defense wipes, you know what I mean? We got tons of soap, things like that. So that everybody can stay as clean as they can. We're encouraging them to bring, 3 sets of workout gear if we're only having 2 practices, and just be able to change and do what they need to do. So that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to go the 13th through the 16th of July. We're going to go the 20th through the 23rd of July, and then we're going to go the 27th through the 30th of July. I had people starting to sign up. I'm getting ready to send out some confirmation emails, and then we're looking at what we're going to do in August. Once again, there's some guidelines out there that are out there. They're designed to keep everybody safe, and we're going to follow them.
When you look at it, camps are still filling up. How do people sign up? How does a kid get to Burnett Trained Wrestling if they want to be at Perrysburg at the Hive in mid-July, right? Like, how does somebody sign up for camp? And do you guys do you do Facebook? Are you available? Email? How do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, well, my sister-in-law is pretty amazing. And she and Elliot Lewis, they've done a great job as far as linking things up. So if people go to our website, it's just BurnettTrainedWrestling.com. They can sign up for camp on there, or they can hit Scotty. They can hit myself. I encourage people to shoot me a text. It's just to hit me on my phone number, and that's kind of the way we go there. I can put my number out there. I'm not afraid to put my cell number out there. I don't know if people want it.
Okay, Coach. Do you want to put it out there? It's up to you.
Yeah, if you hit me up, 440-225-5793. A lot of people like to text me. You can hit, you might have Scotty's number, or my email is my name, Erik, Erik, BURNETT @AOL.com. Yes, I still have an AOL.
I was just gonna say you're rocking the AOL, huh?
So, but Jody does a lot too, like on her Gmail account and whatnot. But that's through our website, and then we do a lot of stuff on Facebook. That's actually how we changed a lot of dates of our camp, man. Jody went on Facebook, and we just we put out there that we were moving the camps. So yeah, that's where we're at right now, and then we'll look and see. We'll see what happens in August.
What are all the dates for July?
July 13th through the 16th, Monday through Thursday. They're all Monday through Thursday, and then July 20th through the 23rd, and then July 27th through the 30th. We got a few teams from out of state that are interested in coming in, and it could be awesome. Like I said, we're in uncharted territory right now. We're gonna see how it goes. And
things could pivot. Something could change next week, and there could be no camps, right?
Isn't that crazy?
That's a thing. No, that's a thing, though. Like we have to be aware of that. That's like not
right.
Something that's out of the. Everything's on the table at this point.
Yeah, well,
right?
We waited. I don't know how many other camps actually came out with their dates. We waited for a while. I think it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I think 2 weeks ago is when we just finally were able to put dates out there, because we became confident enough that, hey, maybe this will happen. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
4 sessions, 4 hours a day, right?
Yeah. 2 sessions a day, 2 hours apiece, with 2 hours in between, clean the place up, whatnot. The kids will be done at 4 o'clock.
What's your price?
$200.
$200
for the week, yeah. But there's all kinds of family discounts,
pretty affordable,
team
man.
discounts.
It's pretty affordable.
Yeah, it's
$50 a day, Coach.
Look, we don't want anybody going broke coming to us, man.
They're not gonna. All right, you got anything else for me?
Man, hey, I had a great day. Had a great day hiking with you and the boys, man, Freddie and Tommy. I got to see the secret waterfalls. I'm not going to tell anybody where it's at.
Don't tell anybody. And you didn't take the cold plunge, Jim.
I did not today.
But if you had trunks, you would have.
Yeah. I got a couple things I got to work on here. I got to make sure everything's healthy. Can't be falling down in the water, breaking my ankles and things like that. I want to try to be effective at camp. But no, it was a great day, man. And once again, love to be at your spot. Love the deck. Great job, Bill. I don't know. Thank you, Zeb.